morning, my neighbor. How are you doing? Are you feeling okay?
Only one beauty pageant spawned the first Miss World from Black Africa. Only one pageant births 5 titles in one night. Only one pageant stands out consistently from the rest. Because when it's all said and done, there can only be truly one. The most beautiful girl in Nigeria, Africa's most prestigious beauty pageant, is here again. Get your forms now for the 34th edition of the MBGN. To register, visit www.mbgnsilverbird.com or follow our social media handles at SilverbirdMBGN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for details. Don't be told, you can be the one. MBGN, the true essence of beauty.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Good Morning Port Harcourt, coming to you live from Silverbird Television right here in Port Harcourt, wherever you're watching us from. We say to you, we're right here to make your morning worth it. So we just go on straight to trending gist. And while you all are aware that over the weekend in Plateau State, that state unfortunately has had the worst attacks when it comes to suspected herdsmen killing. And well, this time around, over 70 people were massacred on Sunday. It was a very deadly one, and it left several unascertained number injured. She is here on the grounds of the fact that as we speak, she's alleging that there's a screening going on at the moment in Government House, Port Harcourt, where some aspirants have been exempted from it, and she inclusively is in the list of people who were not allowed access to the screening point, despite the fact that she has everything.
There has been zero empowerment on the youth. There has been nothing done on employment or empowerment. It's been more of capital projects. It's been more of a project, infrastructural projects, and that zero effort has been put into manpower development in every state. Do you think that they are making sense?
Hello and good morning to you. Welcome to Good Morning Port Harcourt, coming to you live from Silverbird Television, right here from Port Harcourt. It's a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday morning, and today, of course, so much is packed up. So many nice news on the internet of Port Harcourt, from Port Harcourt to the world. We have a lot of people making us happy from Port Harcourt, you know, and they are on the news, of course, doing nice things to people. And well, today we'll bring you, of course, the headline of the news in such a way that it is fused with the newspaper headlines, alongside some of the top stories from the online platforms. And of course, after which we'll be talking with Apostle Chibuzo, who is the General Overseer of OPM. Talking about people who are doing us good from Port Harcourt, who are, sending good news all the way from Port Harcourt to the world, is of course Apostle Chibuzo, who has deemed it fit to put smiles on the faces of people who seem oppressed, who seem very, very bereaved at this point. The family of Mr. and Mrs. Samuel, the parents to the girl who was lynched in Sokoto in what we can call a jungle justice by some extremists who felt like they should fight for their religion, and of course took it to the extreme by lynching a young girl in her prime age to death and burnt her alive. Well, the parents came up to say that they did not want to send their children to school, and this particular man has changed the story, the narrative entirely. We'll be letting you know much more about the details on this. Welcome to Good Morning Port Harcourt. My name is Deborah Balama. Stay with us.
Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing?
Only one beauty pageant spawned the first Miss World from Black Africa. Only one pageant births 5 titles in one night. Only one pageant stands out consistently from the rest. Because when it's all said and done, there can only be truly one. The most beautiful girl in Nigeria, Africa's most prestigious beauty pageant, is here again. Get your forms now for the 34th edition of the MBGN. To register, visit www.mbgnsilverbird.com or follow our social media handles at SilverbirdMBGN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for details. Don't be told, you can be the one. MBGN, the true essence of beauty.
Okay, glad to know that you're right there with us on Good Morning Port Harcourt on this Tuesday morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, Deborah. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Looking good as usual.
Thank you. You're not looking bad yourself.
Okay, well, I mean, I hope the economy of Nigeria can say the same. Just, I mean, look as good as you're looking. Okay, what do we have on the headlines?
On this day, a legal team of 34 lawyers led by a law lecturer at Usman Danfolo University, Sokoto, Professor Manso Ibrahim, yesterday appeared in defense of 2 suspects, Biyamu Aliyu and Aminu Hakunchi, arraigned over the murder of Deborah Yakubu, and they pleaded not guilty.
Okay, well, we hear that there are strong indications that there seems to be very senior lawyers. As a matter of fact, 34 lawyers have indicated interest to be on the defense of the guy who is charged for murder of Deborah Samuel.
And also Ibrahim applied for bail on behalf of the accused persons and urged the court to grant the accused persons bail on liberal terms, citing constitutional provision and sections of the Law Administration of Criminal Justice Law. And the judge in charge of the case also went further with his power to just say, for now, they should be in the correctional center.
Okay, well, it's a murder case, and as much as we know, murder cases are not bailable.
Yeah,
it's not a bailable offense. So I don't know. I mean, how they would have done that, anyways. Well, we do hope that the court will do the right thing. But to look at this thing in a way that this is a murder case of a girl who was lynched to death by just writing something, like she didn't kill anyone, she didn't actually go to the mosque to do anything.
No, she didn't.
Mosque. She just wrote something. Maybe what she wrote, they didn't like it. Was it not proper for them to have cautioned her? Okay, maybe a warning or something. You know, that kind of thing. No, perhaps
call her out.
Take her to court if they have even if it's a Sharia state.
Oh, they do have a Sharia court where they actually give out judgment. They could tell her if she's wrong. They could correct her.
But
or
she's
something.
not a Muslim.
She's not a Muslim.
You need to be a Muslim to be tried in the Sharia court.
Oh, that's
she's not
true,
a Muslim. So she cannot be tried in Sharia court anyways. But anyways, this is exactly what played out with the case of the boy who raped a young girl in Bayelsa of about 11 years and absconded with her, kidnapped her out of town, took her to where it was alleged that she was in the Sultan's what's it called, the Sultan of Kanu's house at that point. And in that scenario, when this guy was charged to court, you know what exactly happened? At the end of the day, we had a lot of senior lawyers, including Sans,
same case
up on for defense of that boy. It's the same thing that's playing out. But you know, when this thing bulges out, you hear them say we condemn this, but in the practical aspect, there's no visible sign that there's actually a condemnable approach by these people, because who is funding this guy to be able to pay these lawyers? They're obviously coming as maybe voluntarily.
It's annoying because the former Vice President Atiku put down a post on his page condemning this act, but when he found out he was losing votes in that same state, he had to take it down. And the CAN of Nigeria, Christian Association of Nigeria, they're against it. It's not how it should be.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. I will just go to the next story where we have, this one is coming from this Nigeria, where we have that 80 billion fraud allegation. Accountant General Idris in EFCC's net. And well, that is to say that there is an allegation upon that's come upon the Accountant General of the Federation, Idris, and the EFCC has taken him in for further questioning to know what role he had to play in this alleged crime. And well, this is actually laudable that a serving Accountant General who is serving in the federal S school, you know, that kind of thing, can actually be apprehended and questioned over such thing. It's a good thing. I mean, we just hope that we get to hear the follow-up on that. I know eventually if they found him wanting, because I know before the EFCC would invite you, they must have done their own underground investigations to see whether at least you're linked to this, and if maybe perhaps with the evidences they have in their coffins, that's why they are able to call him for questioning. Well, we'll see how that plays out, and hopefully if he's indicted for this, he'll face whatever it is. Well, we'll go over to the next story we have there. Nigeria's inflation rate rises to 16.82. Wow, that is high. In April, the highest in 8 months. That is so high. Very high. The inflation rising to 16.2, 16.8. And I'm not surprised, because when it's political period in Nigeria, everything is brought to a standstill. Everything is brought to a standstill.
It looks like a standard of living. It looks like a standard of living that once a politics time like this, everything just go hike in price. I don't know why. Then once they are seated, it comes down to normal.
Okay, so what do we have there?
On Daily Trust, push for Northern candidacy heightens in APC.
I can't believe we're hearing that. Politics is indeed a drama zone.
It is a big drama zone. It you know, on same page, promoters, prisoners for power and inside the game, Tinubu camp will lose if South scheme out. That's what they're saying. So there's a problem already.
Okay, well, I don't see that as a problem. I just believe that people don't know how to really sustain gentleman arrangement in Nigeria. This goes to say a lot about our persona. You know, if you and somebody agree on something and you can't keep to just a simple agreement because there is no binding by law that says it, then it goes to say who you are.
That's
of
true.
course, this is the same APC at the beginning that actually told Nigerians that they have zoned it to the south, and this was agreed, and everybody knew that it was zoned to the south. This even made the northerners not declare early. Some of them, the few of them, 2 of them who are running alongside the southern candidates, actually did come up a little bit late. They didn't make their intention known very early.
At some point, yeah.
You know, so basically, if we're hearing this, though that's a speculation, not coming from the APC directly, so we cannot really hold our hands on
APC,
that.
you can
We'll
hold
wait
it
to
on
hear
them.
from the APC actually, but let us see what happens if before the election proper, the primary proper, the presidential primary, there's a statement saying the northern candidates should step down. Then of course we should know that of course this is what. But if they allow them to go to the pool
To run for
on
the
that
pool?
day, they will
Oh.
know of course they didn't keep to their terms. They don't even have to make a statement for us to know that. Practically we'll just see for ourselves that these people actually did not leave it open for every.
If they say a thing, I think it will be beautiful if they just stand by it. It makes their personality something somebody can actually look up to. You say a word, you stand by it, not just saying and tomorrow is a different ball game.
Okay, what do we have next there, please? Okay,
think we
I
should
just
take
take
it
the
up
Daily
from there.
Independent. Daily Independent, 30 years after burst pipelines to Lagos Airport haunt airliners. Well, that is the headliner you will find on Daily Independent. It went further to explain stakeholders say pipelines would have made jet oil cheaper. And then worried use of tankers to discharge fuel at the airport risky. Say 5 million liters of aviation fuel sold at Lagos Airport daily. And this actually can cause traffic. This can be risky to have this amount of fuel around the airport premises. Anywhere close by the airport is very risky as well.
It is risky.
And well, this is actually they're saying that there's a busted pipeline. It's not like it's actually a legal thing.
when a pipeline bursts and there's nothing done to fix it, obviously,
well, it's
the government is already aware that there's a burst
pipeline there.
So if they refuse to fix it, somehow, I'm going to. I think it's Abacha that said this, or Babangida, that if a crime goes on beyond 24 hours, know that the government is involved. I didn't say it. All right.
Okay.
Because I didn't say it. I'm just quoting what the former head of state said. You know. So, but looking at it now, if they know that there is something like this, a busted pipeline around the
airport area,
should we even be talking about this?
It's not safe to start with.
Should we even be talking about? Should it even be a discussion? It should be something that should be fixed like ASAP.
It shouldn't even be on the news.
Yes, it should. But I'm looking at the kind of business that's go 5 million litre.
Wow.
That is how much of aviation fuel that's stolen from that point. 5 million litres. Do you know what that is?
5 million litres. Converting it to
and aviation fuel sells for between, I think, 300 and something as in before the increment. So if you look at it, you can imagine how much
they'll be making out of it.
Just imagine how much of theft
and it's
is
still
going on.
And it's still there
and it's
now.
a running business. It's going on there. Well, I think that the government needs to really step in and do something about that, and it shouldn't be something that even should be heard in anywhere.
Okay, on The Guardian, federal government faces tough choices to stabilize economy as inflation bites harder. And also 80 million Nigerians living with hypertension, 26.7 million receiving treatment.
Okay, and that is from
on
The Guardian. Okay,
yeah.
The Guardian. And then, of course, we go to The Punch, where it says, timetable, INEC talks tough as 18 parties failed to conduct primaries. Okay, well, INEC has insisted and kept on their word that they are not going to shift this date. It remains the 3rd of June. The deadline for submission of candidates to represent each party is on the 3rd of June 2022, and they are not shifting grounds. And well, they are saying that a lot of parties are not following the guideline, and well, we'll just look at how that plays out. Of course, there are smaller parties that sometimes will wait for the major two political parties to finish their primaries first of all
before they do their own,
because of the fact that most times the candidates that represent these smaller parties usually will spring out of the major parties in most cases, especially in governorship elections in the states and all that. So you find a situation where a smaller party will wait for the major parties
to finish their own thing before they come out
and then start their process as well. I do believe that the INEC knows what they're doing, and they went on to say that there is no going back on election timetable. June 3rd deadline, INEC warns parties. They are very stiff on this. APC others intensify lobbying as commission says terminal date for primaries is already fixed. And it went on to say PDP postpones governorship, Senate primaries for the 3rd time and cites IPOB seats at home as part of their problem. Wow. Well, you can see that they are not yet decisive on what is going to happen. And they believe somehow that if you look at what is happening, I noticed something that some of these presidential candidates are busy going from state to state, campaigning, consulting, meeting with these delegates and all that. Why some are not really doing it?
Some are just calm.
And some are just calm. So if you look at most of the people who are, apart from Atiku, who's running for presidency from the northern side, that seems to be doing the consultative thing. It was in Port Harcourt over the weekend. He seems to be going
from
around
one state
to
the other
with delegates and all that. If you look at the other northern candidates, I mean the ones in APC, I haven't heard any consultation meeting. Maybe they're not airing it on the media, but I haven't heard anything.
Maybe they're keeping it private.
If you look at the APC, the people who seem to be going around, Rotimi Amechi, he's been up and about. The other candidates, Timipre Silva, Goswila Pabio, I haven't really heard of them going
about
around,
them
for campaigns and all that. So Peter Obi too has been going around. He was in River State too, I think about a week ago, to consult and of course speak to delegates asking for votes at the upcoming primary. But you see, you will know people who really are in the presidential race to win, and people who are just around to perhaps just make their name
make their name in the stand of time.
I'm not saying emphatically that is what it is, but I mean, if you're running for an election and you fail to go around to campaign,
so what are you doing then?
Expecting? Okay, so what do we have next?
I think That's
okay.
all
And
I
then
have
from
on
the
my
nation,
story.
from the last the paper headlines, we have that the EFCC arrests federal government top accountant over 8 billion naira fraud. And then we go over to other stories, and right here we have that Rotimi Chibika Amechi has finally tendered his resignation letter. Well, why are we going back and forth on this? We were told only last week that the presidency has received 3 letters, and Amechi's letter is part of it, only for us to just hear that it was only yesterday that he officially resigned. I'll go on to read his
Resignation letter?
very well articulated
Letter.
very well articulated resignation letter. And here he says, the resignation, that's what is captioned: Your Excellency, letter of resignation. It is with mixed feeling that I tender my resignation as the Minister of Transportation of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to contest for the presidential ticket of our great party, the All Progressives Congress. He went on to say, Your Excellency, it has been a great honor and privilege serving as a member of your cabinet following your historical victory at the polls in 2015. Under your administration, the Ministry of Transportation has recorded significant achievements made possible by your visionary support and commitment to ensuring that we deliver on our mandate. As I embark on the next phase of our mission, in quotes, mark
Our
that
mission.
word. Mark that word. I want you to. I mean, I like your attention on this particular letter I'm reading, and I'll go back to read that particular place again so that you can take note of that. As I embark on the next phase of our mission to work towards a better Nigeria for all Nigerians, I humbly seek your Excellency's prayers, blessings, and look forward to your continued support and guidance. Your Excellency, whilst humbly seeking your kind consideration of my request, please accept the assurance of my highest esteem. Yours sincerely, Right Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi, Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Transportation. The letter is dated 16th of May 2022. Now, let us go back to our mission. Our mission. It's underlined. All right. We'll talk about it at the other end when we're at the public opinion aspect. Okay. This goes on to say that people have actually been speculating that he is the anointed one, and most of his supporters have taken to social media and many platforms to somehow sell the concept to the heads of Nigerians that from the moment he was made, he was given a chieftaincy title by the Dara King. Which is the hometown of the president, that it seems like that was just a sign, just the way Joseph was anointed, that's the way it works, so basically basically it's a sign that he is the chosen one,
and it's also coming back to remind him of our mission,
and the translation of the title is the trusted son.
Wow.
A trusted son of Dara. That's what the title means in English language. So you can see that it's looking as though, and then of course we actually go over to, let's of course look at the story that we will be talking about at the other side fully on the public complaint segment. We look at this nice gesture, wonderful gesture
from the Rivers people
by a of course a worthy. He's not from Rivers, yes, by birth, but I think he has become a Port Harcourt boy. So
when I saw the news yesterday, and I loved it, where he said Rivers State House of Assembly has passed the bill that gives women right to inherit family properties. Oh my.
Okay. I was actually talking about Chibuzo Gift Chinyere's story.
OPM.
The OPM apostle. That's the story I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to talk to the River State House of Assembly story. So we'll go over to that. He just awarded scholarship to the other children of Mr. and Mrs. Samuel, the family that is bereaved over Deborah's death. All right, and well, basically he went for that to offer them a house where they can relocate to in Port Harcourt and be comfortable. He has an estate that he gives to people who are in such situation, and this house is a life apartment.
He said forever they're not going to pay rent again.
Pay any rent. And he didn't just stop there.
aside from the scholarship and the accommodation, he is offering to the father
of the late
girl
Deborah
a job that can pay him, on a monthly basis. And he didn't also stop there. He went ahead to also offer to also open a business for Deborah's mom, late Deborah's mom. Okay, this all he's doing just to let them understand that Christianity is something that you have to look out for. It's not just enough to condemn. People
all the time.
People are in trouble. People are scared. People are living in fear in the north. It's such a gesture of relocating this family. First of all, at this time when the whole environment is heated based on this, and you can see how many lawyers are represent pro bono.
Representing the same case.
This guy who is accused of murdering Deborah on pro bono. You can imagine the support they have. So it's not even it's not even safe. It's very risky.
Not even safe to even
for
stay
the family
in that
to
place.
even be in the north at this time. So I think what he did is very, very laudable. We will be talking to him later on to know he has actually come to the aid of a lot of people who have found themselves in situations. He has offered scholarship, even overseas scholarship.
Oh yeah,
to a lot
he
of
has.
people. And I asked, what would Jesus do if he was here? This is how you know Christianity. So we can now go to the story on the River State House of Assembly passing a bill to ensure that the female
has a right to their
female
family
children
property.
have a share in their parental wealth.
Okay.
If you look at the bill seeking for equal right for women. That bill, of course, this is part of what that bill captioned. The bill is actually intending to, ensure that part of what the bill is seeking, the bill that was set aside by the National Assembly.
Okay.
Though we hear that the Senate might revisit it because of that clause, the particular clause that the River State House of Assembly has just passed into law, which is to allow for the female children to be able to have a share in the property of their family. Well, let me just go through the story. The River State House of Assembly has passed into law a bill to ensure that women can inherit family and community property. And the bill, known as the Prohibition of Curtailment of the Rights of Women to Share in Family and Community Property, was sponsored by Honorable Michael Chinda, a member representing Obiakpor Constituency 2 in the River State House of Assembly. He went on to say the Speaker of the River State House of Assembly, Queen Awaji Bani, during the third reading said the prohibition of the curtailment of the rights of women to share in family and community property is for justice and equity in all aspects. What happens to a man who has just 3 daughters and wasn't blessed with a son and has acquired a lot of property in his lifetime? What happens to that kind of man if such a bill is not enacted? It should be enacted in the whole of the country. Though I know for Islam, there is a sort of there's a ratio for sharing wealth already prescribed by Islam. So you're not even allowed a will in the normal Islamic way of doing things. Everybody knows their place. They know how they've ratioed the sharing. The Quran, they have principles that helps them to guard all this. But you come to the South, a man doesn't have a will before kicking the bucket.
He passed on,
and he has daughters. You understand? And what happens in most cases, you find the relatives of the man that are male step in to collect this property, saying and
even leaving nothing for the wife of the deceased to start with. And it's a sad one. It's a sad one. But I love this bill. I love this bill because at the end of the day, women of River State, or ladies, women of River State will have a say. Like you said, what if a family that has no male child and the man passed on and is wealthy? You see the brothers just coming to take the properties, forgetting that these female children are humans too. You educate a woman, you educate a society. That is what they fail to understand. So this bill is a step in the right direction.
Okay, well, you can say that again. It is a step in the right direction. At this juncture, we'll take a break. When we come back, we will go into the next, which is, of course, public complaint. But before we kick off the public complaint, we'd like to speak briefly with Apostle Chibuzo over the phone. He'll be joining us live virtually. You can call it virtually because he's joining us via telephone
conversation.
He'll be live with us on air, and then we'll talk to him about this wonderful gesture that is so nice. And just like yesterday at the end of the show, we celebrated
Sabinus, Mr. Funny, the Port Harcourt boy who's doing well. Today, we're also going to be celebrating Burna Boy at the last lap of the show. Burna Boy is doing us proud. Like,
he's doing us
he's
proud.
breaking records left, right, center. That guy has got a god.
The guy is good.
He's got a god, a G-O-D, capital letter. We'll be right back. We'll be right back on Good Morning Port Harcourt. Stay with us.
Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing?
Only one beauty pageant spawned the first Miss World from Black Africa. Only one pageant births 5 titles in one night. Only one pageant stands out consistently from the rest. Because when it's all said and done, there can only be truly one. The most beautiful girl in Nigeria, Africa's most prestigious beauty pageant, is here again. Get your forms now for the 34th edition of the MBGN. To register, visit www.mbgnsilverbird.com or follow our social media handles at SilverbirdMBGN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for details. Don't be told, you can be the one. MBGN, the true essence of beauty.
Okay, welcome back to Good Morning Port Harcourt, and we are waiting to connect to our guest who's joining us via telephone. But before then, today is Tuesday, and Barrister, you know that every Tuesday we do the opinion poll to look at issues that are bedeviling the society, and of course, those things that you have noticed that you do not like, that you want to talk about, or maybe there's a particular topic on the news that you're interested to share your opinion about. So that's why this segment is called Opinion Poll / Eyewitness Report. So in case you have particular there's something in the polity you did like to comment about, you let us know. And well, let's just look a little bit at our mission by Rosie Michibika, our mission. And then what is your take on the Rivers State House of Assembly giving women the right to inherit property? These are areas I know that African men, I remember the last time we had Honorable Victoria Moboyeche, a former member of the Rivers State House of Assembly, on Good Morning Port Harcourt, and we talked about the bill seeking equality for women in terms of equal opportunity, the Equal Opportunity Bill. The bill seeking for equal opportunity for women. And I know how some of the male callers almost ate us up that day, you know, and they were saying that, oh, well, you don't rub shoulder with a man, forgetting that someone gives birth to 2 children. One is a male, one is a female. They were carried the same time in the womb, 9 months. So the man didn't stay longer in the womb, not because we're both females, but I like equity. And, you know, people seem to confuse the wifely woman to the career woman. The woman in the house is a wife. And biblically, the Quran, traditional requirement is that women, if you're married, you ought to be submissive to your husband. But now the society misunderstands it to mean that you have to be submissive to every man you meet on the street. That's a misconception that needs to be corrected. I don't know how people can correct this, but even someone you meet that maybe you're even older than this person, and there's a confrontation, you hear the person say, I have a wife like you at home. Do you understand? They need to understand something, that the wife you have at home,
it's not the same woman.
It's not the woman you meet on the street. The woman you meet on the street is a human being. A human being that is created like you, that ought to have the same opportunity you have. If you can be a bank manager, there's nothing that should stop a woman from also being a bank manager. But the African society confuses the responsibility of a woman at home and that of a woman you meet on the street. So I don't know how this has actually sinked into people's head, and I don't know how it can be taken out, that even a little boy of just 10 years feels like he's a man already, and a girl shouldn't talk to him, even someone that is way older than him. As a matter of fact, some parents, some fathers do that much of telling their sons all the time that you're the man here, you're the man here, you're the man of the house, you're the man here, making them feel like, oh, you are more superior. Even when this boy has 5 sisters that are older than him, you hear the father of this child unconsciously telling this boy every day, you're the man here, you're the man here. And with time, he will start reminding his sisters that I'm the man here. Do you understand? Not knowing that he is actually the youngest and should be respectful to the other 4 or the other 5, as the case may be. So the African society unconsciously makes the man feel superior. And though we agree that in the home front, the man is the head, because you can't have 2 captains.
No, you can't.
That's the reason the Bible gave the man the lead. And because, of course, look at the story of creation, how the woman came about, the story of Adam and Eve and all that. So it is assumed that the man is actually in charge. But if you look at it critically, when you leave the house and it's no longer your wife, you don't expect the woman on the road
to treat you like you are her husband.
Yes, to treat you like she's married to you.
Okay.
So this submissive thing needs to be understood. And it goes on with siblings. That's why maybe they lose their father without a will. And you see the men in the house telling the women that you have no share in this because you are a woman and we are men. But we are both this man's children. We both love him equally.
Deborah, if you want to push it that way, we'll keep talking like to the end, because at the end of the day, a woman was nurtured in a way that she is a carrier, as in she's emotional being. Even as a young girl growing up, she's nurtured to be a mother. You see a child playing with tellies, giving food and the rest of it. So even when it comes to a gender thing, I think they should even give more respect to a woman. But I'm not competing in fact, because even when a woman get married out of her father's house, she still come back home with love, taking care of her parents. But a man, when he's married, he's still concentrating on his wife alone. I'm not trying to put any argument here, but in as much as gender is concerned, we're from the same womb, same lifespan. So you stay 100, I'll stay 100. God is not giving you 120 because you're a man and 80 because I'm a woman. It doesn't work that way. So if for the fact our society has painted it this way, that a man is the head of the house, a man is, it even come down to as low as you traveling, you embark on a journey. You see, even a bus driver will tell you, someone you're older than, my friend, keep quiet, you're just a woman. And you imagine, even some men in the buses will support him, you're just a woman, keep quiet. It's wrong. So this bill is something that will really make everyone have their place. For the fact I'm a woman doesn't mean I'm not entitled to my father's property. It does not make me less human.
Okay, well, let's let the people calling to contribute on this particular topic. And the number you can get to call to connect live on air and let us know what your take is on these issues that are on the front burner. We'll have, of course, the issue of 34 senior lawyers in Nigeria representing the person who has allegedly killed Deborah in court pro bono. Pro bono. Pro bono means that there's no payment. They are willing to come and defend him
for free.
So 34 lawyers, and this must be from a place of conviction that they feel that he didn't do anything wrong. We of course cited an imam in Abuja yesterday who went on to say that the lady crossed the red line. She crossed the red line. She isn't supposed to cross the red line. She did, and the person who lynched her didn't do anything wrong. This is, if in a normal societal situation, that kind of person should also be called by the police to come and answer. Are you inciting more trouble? Because such speeches are capable of inciting more trouble, because there's already trouble and they're looking for how to calm the situation. And a leader who is also a cleric decides to mount the pressure more and tell them that the person who has done this crime did nothing wrong. So these are the issues on the headlines. We're looking at, of course, Amechi saying his presidential ambition is a mission. Is a collective mission of the ESCO, that is the Federal Executive Council, more like the under the presidency. It's our mission. His ambition to be president is our mission based on him and the president.
Do you know how the resignation letter was sounding like, reminding him like, you know.
The resignation letter was well written, and the way he had lined it. So you can call 0814 598 98920. Okay, 0814 598 0920. Okay, get to call and be a part of today's discussions. What is your take on these headlines we have today? We have, of course, the gesture by Apostle Chibuzo, who has offered his family relief in their time of grief. We also have the story of Rotimi Chibika Amechi resigning in the most I don't know how to put it. I'm looking for the right adjective to qualify the method, the way he structured his letter. And then, of course, we also have the fact that the murderer, or the alleged murderer of Deborah, who came on camera openly to pride in the fact that he murdered this girl, is being defended by 34 lawyers.
And he also said he's not guilty.
And he has pleaded not guilty, being that he killed a justifiable killing.
Exactly.
That is what he's saying. In the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a country that is not Islamist, is not an Islamist country. And Deborah is not a Muslim, so she's not guided by the Sharia law. Anyway, so we look at all this together. And then, of course, you get to tell us, what have you noticed in your environment? We can't come to you to give you the what's happening in your environment.
Sure.
We can only know what's happening in your environment if you give us a tip. It's called tipping us. Tip us to let us know what is happening in your environment that you do not like. I think the refuse thing has been overflogged, and we have sent messages to have there's no commissioner for environment at this time. We have sent messages to have the permanent secretary. That has not gotten any feedback, and at the moment now Riwama is not in existence almost. So the local government, we've tried to make effort to see if we can get either the Falga local government or the Ubekpo local government that is still being followed, so that we can know exactly what they are doing to clear up the streets of Port Harcourt. Is really looking very bad, as in it is now accepted as a norm. We're now looking like Aba. River State, Port Harcourt is almost looking like Aba at the moment.
It should be described as our sister state.
Well, I don't want to believe that. Okay, so get to call in and be a part of today's discussion. For me, I think the biggest story for today, I have two stories that are really big for me. Is, of course, the River State House of Assembly passing the bill for equal property sharing
for the female
children. And as well as the story of Apostle Chibuzo offering relief to the family that is highly bereaved. 0817 962 4696 is the number you get to call. 0817 962 4696. Get to call in and be a part of the show this beautiful morning. We'll take a break, and when we come back, the show continues. Please, the number will be on the screen, so you just get to calling and let us get to hear your opinion on today. Today is Tuesday, and that's the day we allow you, the watchers, to be a part of the governance, be a part of the solution, be a part of what's happening in the country and in the state, River State. We'll be right back after this break. Stay with us.
Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing?
Only one beauty pageant spawned the first Miss World from Black Africa. Only one pageant births 5 titles in one night. Only one pageant stands out consistently from the rest. Because when it's all said and done, there can only be truly one. The most beautiful girl in Nigeria, Africa's most prestigious beauty pageant, is here again. Get your forms now for the 34th edition of the MBGN. To register, visit www.mbgnsilverbird.com or follow our social media handles at SilverbirdMBGN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for details. Don't be told, you can be the one. MBGN, the true essence of beauty.
doing? Are you feeling okay?
Hello, good morning and welcome to Good Morning Port Harcourt, coming to you live from Silverbird Television right here in Port Harcourt, wherever you're watching us from. We say to you, we're right here to make your morning worth it. So we just go on straight to trending gist. And while you all are aware that over the weekend in Plateau State, that state unfortunately has had the worst attacks when it comes to suspected herdsmen killing. And well, this time around, over 70 people were massacred on Sunday. It was a very deadly one, and it left several unascertained number injured. She is here on the grounds of the fact that as we speak, she's alleging that there's a screening going on at the moment in Government House, Port Harcourt, where some aspirants have been exempted from it, and she inclusively is in the list of people who were not allowed access to the screening point, despite the fact that she has everything.
There has been zero empowerment on the youth. There has been nothing done on employment or empowerment. It's been more of capital projects. It's been more of a project, infrastructural projects, and that zero effort has been put into manpower development in every state. Do you think that they are making sense?
Only one beauty pageant spawned the first Miss World from Black Africa. Only one pageant births 5 titles in one night. Only one pageant stands out consistently from the rest. Because when it's all said and done, there can only be truly one. The most beautiful girl in Nigeria, Africa's most prestigious beauty pageant, is here again. Get your forms now for the 34th edition of the MBGN. To register, visit www.mbgnsilverbird.com or follow our social media handles at Silverbird MBGN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for details. Don't be told, you can be the one. MBGN, the true essence of beauty.
All right, you're welcome back to Good Morning Port Harcourt, and we have live with us this morning this apostle of God, Jesus Christ, who has been doing quite a lot for humanity. I call him that one that just helps without knowing the history of the person. And I'm not meaning to patronize him. No. You know, you give honor to whom honor is actually due. We have with us today Apostle Chibuzo Gift Chinyere. He's the General Overseer of the OPM, Omega Fire Ministry, Omega Power Ministries. And right here in Port Harcourt, headquartered in on the Airport Road. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, sir. You're live on Silverbird Television. Good morning. We're having you as our guest on Good Morning Port Harcourt because of the wonderful news we heard yesterday that you have offered succor to a family that is bereaved at this time. The parents of the girl who was lynched to death by some Islamist extremists in Sokoto State. So tell us, how is it for you? We hear you do quite a lot for people. I have followed most of your kind gestures to people. You go beyond even religion. You help everybody. Tell us what motivated you to do this for Deborah's family.
Can you repeat the last question? You said
can you tell us what motivated you to do this for the family of Mr. and Mrs. Samuel, the parents of the late Deborah Samuel?
Okay. What motivated me was I watched a video where the father was complaining bitterly, saying that he would never send any of his children to school. And being an icon of free education, that touched me. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Why I don't blame him is this. Hello?
Yes, I'm here. We're here with you, sir.
Why I don't blame him? The daughter did not die by motor accident. The daughter did not die through sickness. The daughter died in school. He sent his daughter to school and the daughter was murdered. So, what is the guarantee that if he sends other children, that they will not be murdered? Remember that after the Nigerian police arrested the culprit of the murder, after the Nigerian police arrested the culprit, some youth started protesting. And the youth went and started damaging people's cars, destroying people's shops, destroying people's churches. But remember, it is not the church that arrested the young men, neither is it those people that own shops that arrested those people. If these people are just innocent. So if those youths can go and do this to innocent people, what is the possibility of them not coming back to that family to come and attack them again? So I say the best way to save these people is to relocate them. So if the following my work, you know that currently I have about 18 free estates that accommodate people that cannot pay for house rent. Okay. And also have 2 specialist hospitals, which is absolutely free. So I said, okay, let me relocate them here and give the children, there are about 6 of them, give the 6 of them free education, then start up a business for the mother, then the father, I see I can use some of my connection and get him a job so that he can be free. He can now be free to send the children to school without fear or favor.
Okay.
But yesterday, somebody connected me to them, so we did a video call.
Okay.
The person that connected me to them used machine, drove machine for 3 hours, 30 minutes to locate them. He has been inside.
Oh.
Jesus. Yes, the way they live in, even the network, there's no network. So I was moved with sympathy. Okay. In order to bring out people from poverty, their second son, their second child, who happens to be a boy, I'm going to be giving him scholarship to go and study overseas.
Wow.
This is
good. This is nice. I mean, this is commendable, sir. I must say this is commendable.
So because I know that once that boy rises up, he becomes very rich, he will remove his family from poverty.
Wow. Can I ask you a question, sir? These things you do, are they funded by the church?
I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me, sir? Hello? These things you do, are they funded by the church?
Are they
funded by the church?
Yes, it's funded by through tithe and offering. Like the 18 free estates that the church has is through tithe and offering and private. These free schools, both Autism School and about 18 schools, is funded through tithe and offering. The 2 specialist hospitals is being funded through tithe and offering. The more than 2,000 people on scholarship. Right now, we have about 84 in Cyprus, we have about 68 in Turkey, we have in Poland, we have in America, we have in UK, we have in Canada, the different parts of the world. All of them are funded through tithe and offering. So everything is funded through tithe and offering. And some of our partners, there are people that see the great work that I'm doing. They say, "Oh, Apostle, I'm not a member of your church. I don't go to your church, but I'm led to partner with you." So they sow seed into the account, which I used to establish more free schools. Like we pay one school, people started partnering with the tithe and offering. We increased to 2 free schools, till we have 80 free schools. Like the estate,
how many free schools, sir? How many free schools?
People are contributing, and also from the tithe and offering.
How many free schools? How many free schools?
Well, like in the hospital, we do operation free.
Okay. We're going to ask you how, but don't worry. The morning show crew, Good Morning Port Harcourt, will come over. Sir, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
We'll come over. The morning show, Good Morning Port Harcourt crew on STV. We'll come over to see you later today. And we would have a discussion on how we can capture all these things you're doing for humanity and for charity. And of course, let people know. Well, there are people who are out there who particularly have given up on the church, who don't actually go to church because they feel like the monies are not well utilized. From them. This is the reason why the tithes are paid, actually. So I believe that there are people who are out there who want to come in and support such a gesture and help what you're doing, because I can't believe all these things are merely on offering and tithes. I was thinking you run other businesses that you get money from to do this. I can't believe that the same tithes and offerings that other churches are taking is what is actually doing this much for from your church to people. Hello, sir.
Yes, ma. Well, I will be so glad to receive you and to take you one-on-one to see these things yourself. Okay, because these are things that are on ground. We have more than 500 boys, which I'm live now. You journalists, you can go and investigate with the Nigerian police. These boys, we collected guns from them. We handed it over to the Nigerian police, which you can confirm from the Commission of Police. Handed it over to them. We are feeding them. I will take you to where these boys. These are one of the most deadliest boys in Nigeria. But God gave me the grace to be able to, to catch a lion before this, to hold them down and transform them and change their mindset. And now, some of them are pastors. Some of them are learning different skills. We have a multi-skill activation center where they learn pipeline welding, different skills. You will see these kids that learn, and you will see these boys. Dangerous boys. Some of them will come bullets with and all that, and we are transforming them. We are feeding them twice a day. They also have an estate where we pick prostitutes on the street and we accommodate them. These are things you will see today when you come. These people are alive.
It's okay, sir. We will be with you later today.
Put them there. We rehabilitate them. They are no longer into prostitution again. They are now, some of them open shops. We will take you to the shop where we open for them, open salons for them, and they are no longer doing prostitution again. They are no longer selling their body.
All right, sir. We're actually at the last lap of the show. We will come today. We'll come over today, and then we'll have a comprehensive view of everything you've told us, and then we'll also get to capture them. We hope to see you later on today. We want to say thank you for this very kind gesture. I mean, Nigerians are grateful for this, and I am a Nigerian. And I really think it's commendable. Thank you very much, sir, for bringing smiles to the faces of this world. We'll see you later today, sir. Okay, well, that's the much we can take this morning on Good Morning Port Harcourt. That was, of course, our Apostle Chinyere. And we were talking with him based on his charitable work. You want to say something on this?
This is what Christianity should look like. Living the life of Christ, being able to touch life, a little bit of kindness. If most churches, which we have, could be able to use their tithe and offering to impact to the life of Christians or even citizens, not just Christians, it would do us good. It's a way of spreading the gospel on its own. Not just bring to the house of God, bring to the house of God. What do you give to the children of God in return?
Okay, well, because of the time, we might not be able to bring you Burna's what we plan to do for Burna, but tomorrow we will definitely start with that. It's not Entertainment Day, but we're going to give Burna that. That's the much you can take this morning on the show. We'll say to you, be good, go out there and conquer your world. You know you can do it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You have it inside of you. Just reach out for it. It's been Deborah and Bariswa on this beautiful Tuesday morning. We'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday morning. Today is Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
Oh gosh.
We'll see you Wednesday morning.
See you tomorrow. That's Wednesday. All right, bye.
Have a great day.
Okay, all right.